Big mood. Greetings, hello, hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I decided that today would probably be as good a day as any to sit down and record a fanfiction reading because I haven't done one in a while. I have been inundated with a lot of cosplay stuff and what have you. I've also been doing a lot of TikTok videos, and I've also been planning other costume builds. Also, maybe this is a sign that I shouldn't do this video today. As soon as I sat down to record this, the device that I read off of just decided to die. So maybe that's a sign that I maybe shouldn't do this video, but I felt a need to make some content, so I'm gonna fucking do it. I just gotta plug it in first. Give me a moment. Don't you quit on me! Also, I apologize for the low production value of this video, and my lighting is weird because I'm shooting this after work and not during the day. So that doesn't matter. What matters is following along on the exploits of our hero, Naomi, and her ragtag bunch of misfit gang friends. So when we last found our hero, as I stated, hero, Naomi, what even happened in the last chapter? She and Nerissa, her like demon self, like separated, and Nerissa went off with Zalgo to like, you know, hang out with him and party with all the demons and stuff. And Naomi is like, oh, part of me is missing. She's not bad. She's just like a demon. And then Naomi also killed another one of Grace's band members. She and Grace got into a huge fight at the gym. We also are coming to the conclusion that Jeff is being mind controlled somehow, even though I'm pretty sure we all knew that. And then Jeff did a humongous jerk move and was like, oh, Naomi, I still love you, and like grabbed her and proceeded to kiss her, and she responded appropriately and slapped him across the face. And she is leaving the Mansion of Killers to go and stay with Joshua for a bit. And when the chapter ended, she was waiting in front of the gym for Joshua to come and pick her up. And this is where we are starting off. Chapter 14. By the time Joshua got there, it was almost 11. I threw my bag in the car and got in the front seat. Hey, he said. Just drive, I muttered. Geez, someone's in a bad mood, he said, and turned back towards the house. Sorry, I'm extremely confused right now, I said. What happened? Joshua asked, running a hand through his gray blonde hair. I told him what happened back at the house. Wow, that's rough, he said. I nodded and laid my head against the window. I see you got a new car, I said, changing the subject. Yeah, the car I did have was completely totaled in the crash we had, Joshua said. I stayed silent and looked out the window as we drove. So, how's band practice going? Joshua asked. Fine, I muttered. We drove past a van. It was the same van I'd seen sitting in the woods. Something was definitely going on with that van. I knew for certain a circus wasn't supposed to be in town anytime soon. So why was that van there? I finally got a good look at the name on the van. Joshua giggled. Vladimir's Circus of Dark Monsters and Illusions? What kind of name is that? He asked. I don't know, but I saw that same van in the woods close to the house, I said. That's weird, Joshua said. I nodded. Anyways, you and your friends are going to Crest Hill School, right? Joshua asked. Yeah, why? You're going to that party, right? He asked. Yes, I am. I said. Do you have a date? He asked. Of course I do. Do you? I asked. Oh, good job remembering you have a boyfriend, Naomi. Like I said, fellow fan base, people who are watching this, I'm not letting that go. I am holding on to this like a grudge to the very, very bitter end because hashtag Team Masky forever. Of course I do. Do you? I asked. No, I'm going solo, he said. Have you ever dated anyone? I asked, pulling my phone out. No, and you're not going to hook me up, so put your phone away, he said. Oh, come on, what about one of my friends? I asked. Joshua was silent for a minute. Well, if you are going to ask someone, you could ask Leah, he said. I smiled. Great, I said, texting Leah. We pulled into the driveway. So that girl, Lori, wasn't it? From Grace's band, the last alive band member. What house does she live in? I asked. Oh no, I'm not telling you that. You at least have to let one of her members live, Joshua said. I sighed. Fine, I said. We walked inside. Oh my god. Do you have any other vehicles besides this one? I asked. Who says vehicles? Like, do you have any other means of transportation? Maybe, but do you have any other vehicles? I don't know. For some reason, it just sounds sort of clunky when you say it. Yeah, we have a motorcycle that Mom used in the garage. Why? He asked. Of course it has it's a motorcycle. Of course. Yeah, that makes total sense. I'm going to need to use it to get to band practice tomorrow, I said. She can play any instrument. She can speak dog. She can fight like a motherfucker. And now Naomi just knows how to drive a motorcycle. What else was I expecting from this? Okay, the keys for it are on the table next to the door, Joshua said. I placed my bag and guitar in my room. So the next bit is basically just like exploring the house, and they're like, oh, I don't really know what mom did. She was like a scientist of some sort. You know, they come across like a hidden place like in the house. And what I'm about to explain sounds a lot more exciting than it actually is, but it's fucking stupid and it doesn't pose any real significance to the story. Basically, they find an underground cavern and they find like oversized spiders and fight them off. Naomi somehow obtains a sword, of course, and the sword like turns into like a ring that she can like wear around her finger. And she's like, can I use this to fight Zalgo? Also, was mom a dark angel? And Joshua was like, I don't know. Then after all of that, Naomi's like, I'm gonna go to my room. I'll see you later. And so she goes back to her room. She gets bored. She starts like playing with her knife, decides to go to the park, and she comes across a girl from the circus van. Her name is Adrienne. She's like, please don't get caught. He's coming for you, blah, blah, blah. And then Adrienne gets like caught in a net, and Naomi narrowly avoids escape, and she runs back home saying that she's never been so scared in her whole life. She has a nightmare about the rake attacking her. And so she wakes up, and this is where I'm gonna start reading. I know I feel like I skipped over a lot of it, but this whole chapter is literally just like filler. Like there's no freaking point to it. So I'm not gonna waste my time reading it, and I'm not gonna waste your time reading it, because I know we all just care about one thing, and that's the band battle. Oh my god, the band battle, the most important thing ever. Anyway, I've had a bad day, folks. I'm sorry. I'm just a little more salty towards humanity than I normally am. I jolted awake and stared around my room, clutching my chest. I turned the bedside light on inside. Only a dream, I muttered. I sighed and hugged myself. It was too quiet in this house. I was so used to hearing Jeff snoring in the next room, or the scribbling of Masky writing his reports to Slender Dad. That must be some loud-ass fucking writing, like... The sounds of the mansion were so comforting. This place was eerily quiet. I got off of the bed, turned the light switch on, unlocked the door, and walked downstairs. I walked down the hall to try to find the kitchen for a snack. The place was so big, and I never asked Joshua to show me around. As I walked, I heard sounds like someone was muttering to herself, along with things being tossed around. I followed the sounds to another library, only to find Nerissa, looking through the books and tossing them down in frustration. Where is that stupid secret book? She muttered. What are you doing here? I asked, stepping into the room. She jumped back into a pedestal, knocking over a lamp. Great, just what I needed, my other half to show up. If you really must know, I'm looking for something for Zalgo, she said. What exactly? I asked. Why should I tell you? She asked. I sighed and decided to try something. Okay, I know we really don't see eye to eye and all, but I think you should come back to my side, I said. Join you and Slender Dad? Why would I do that? I love where I am. I get to be myself without you holding me back, she said. Just think about it. Where will you be when Zalgo takes your powers to destroy the world? I asked. She stood there. You'll be dead and no one will care, but I do. You know why? I asked. She stared at me, biting her lip. Because you technically are me. Ever since you left, I haven't been myself. You're the evil part of me, the part that makes me insane, the part of me that... the part of me that loves to kill, the part people fear. Maybe Nerissa should just stay away, but then Naomi won't be edgy anymore, and she won't feel like she has a place in the world if she's not edgy and feared and terrifying. But whatever, that's a psychological deep dive I am not going into because I won't shut up about it. So let's keep going. I may have these scars on my face, I might have your demon form and some of your powers, and I still might kill, but without you, I'm just regular old Naomi. I said... Oh my god, yeah, like without you, I'm just a fucking serial killer. And, you know, I'm just regular old boring serial killer Naomi that kills people for fun. But you are a demon and you make all of this valid. Flawless logic, that, Naomi. Very, I need a drink. Impromptu crab rangoon mukbang too. Whee! I'm just regular old Naomi, I said. She stared at the ground. You really mean that? She asked. I nodded. You aren't tricking me, are you? She asked, narrowing her eyes. No, I'm not. So what do you say? I asked, holding out my hand to her. She looked at it and reached out her hand, but held back. No! You're still the enemy, and no matter what you say, no matter what you do, I will still hate you, she vowed. Shadows covered the room and she disappeared. I frowned. Fine, I muttered. I headed for the stairs and to bed. And that is the end of chapter 14. Oh my god. I'm so ready for this book to be over. I'll tell you that much. Chapter 15 starts off with Naomi going downstairs. She meets Joshua in the entrance hall. She gets on a motorcycle. She goes to practice. She goes to school, goes inside to practice. I'm saying practice a lot because practice is important. Practice, 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 band battle, band battle, band battle. Most important thing in the world. Oh my god. 3 days till the party. Leah's like, thanks for setting me up on a date with your brother, blah, blah, blah. Someone asked Naomi, hey, have you ever heard the song What Have You Done by Within Temptation? And Naomi, of course, knows how to play it because she can play any song at the drop of a hat. That is the most rocking song ever, June said. They ask, so who are you guys going with to the party? June asked. I'm going with Nate, Jade said. I'm going with Tim, I said. What about you, June? Jade asked. I'm going with Milo, she said. Who? Jade asked. Milo, you know, the childhood friend, she said. Oh, the weird nerdy kid with the glasses, Jade asked. Yes, and he isn't weird and nerdy, June said. Jade snickered. So, Leah, you've always had trouble with dates. Do you even have one? Jade asked. Fuck you, Jade, you fucking cunt. Leah frowned. I do too have a date, and it's with Joshua, Leah said. Who? Jade asked. My brother. Oh, you've got the best date, June said. Leah smiled a little. A boy with violet eyes. What girl wouldn't want that? June asked. I wouldn't, Jade said. Yeah, because you're a fucking bitch, Jade. Shut up. Nobody cares what you have to say. Look, I've gotta go. See you guys at the party, Leah said, taking her base and leaving. I gave Jade a look. What? She asked. You upset her, I answered. So? Jade asked. Jade, you really need to think before you say stuff, June said. Jade just rolled her eyes. I shook my head. Oh my god, Jade. So now we are back in Nerissa's perspective. I sat in my room and stared at the dark red wall as I listened to my blasting metal music. My door slammed open and Lizzie walked in and pushed the speakers off the stand onto the floor. Just because our dad thinks, so think with apostrophe S, thinks you're so important and needs your powers doesn't mean you get to blast obnoxious music throughout the entire castle, she yelled. I rolled my eyes and spit at her. She cringed and stalked out of the room. I picked up the speaker and put the pieces back together. Everyone had been extremely moody lately because it was almost time for Zalgo to take my powers from me. I honestly didn't know when, but I knew it was soon. I didn't know what's going to happen afterwards. I might die, and then again, I might be fine, but I was probably going to die. I sighed and looked in the mirror. I had failed the mission he sent me on. I was supposed to find that stupid demon sword, the one that Naomi has around her finger. I stood up and walked out of the room. Katie walked by holding a doll of some sort. What's that? I asked her. She jumped and hid it behind her back. Nothing, she said. Let me see it, I said, holding my hand out. She shook her head and ran. I stuck my foot out and tripped her. She hit the ground and dropped the doll. I picked it up and looked at it. What the? Why does this look like that eyeless freak, Jack, from the Slender Side? Is it a voodoo doll? I asked, wrenching the doll's arms. No, it's not a voodoo doll, and he isn't a freak. He's cute, she said, grabbing the doll from me. I laughed. Again, with people thinking creepypasta characters are cute. I don't understand it, but whatever. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. I'm not here to kink shame, but at the same time, what? I wish I were on Slender Side, she said. I shook my head at her. Get too attached and you won't be able to kill him, or anyone else for that matter, I said. She scowled. I wish her dad had never taken you in, she yelled and ran away. Just trying to help, I muttered under my breath. I walked down the stairs to the big metal doors. Where do you think you're going, Nerissa? Zalgo asked, appearing behind me. I'm just walking across the bridge. I won't pass the portal, I said. I want you back in 5 minutes, he said, disappearing into black shadow. I sighed and pushed open the doors. I stared down the lava pit that was below the bridge. There's lava everywhere around here, I muttered. I walked across the bridge and looked at the castle. I stared at the large black and red swirling portal that separated us from the world. This place was an entirely different dimension, and I'd only been out of it once. Something felt off. I was getting used to being just one person, but it just felt weird. I should have trusted her. Naomi was a part of me, and things weren't the same without her. A dark shadow passed overhead and a big black dragon landed in front of me. The red pendant around the dragon's neck glowed brightly. Then the light faded, and in its place stood a girl with brown hair. She wore jeans and a black shirt. Oh my god, boring. She's like, something's wrong, something's definitely wrong, blah, blah, blah. Soon the dark angel power will be mine. Zalgo roars, blah. And now we're back to Naomi's perspective. He's like, how was practice? Jade made fun of Leah for having really cruddy luck with love and dates. And he says, oh, I backed her up, blah, blah, blah. Do you have an outfit for the party? Where's Simon? And then Naomi's like, I'm going out to kill. And then she picks a house and goes in to kill these people. And the window is open and she's like, it's like, they want me to kill them. You know, now that I think about it, the window of my bedroom is open. That must really mean I want Naomi to come in and kill me, or for anybody to come in and kill me, because that really makes the most amount of sense. Oh my god, my window is open. It's a nice night. I may want air to be circulating through my house. No, it must mean I want people to come and kill me. Yeah, that's of course. I climbed up the lattice and peeked into the room. There was a boy with dark black hair sitting on a bed playing with a cat. If you hurt the cat, you fucking bitch. I swear to God, I will stop reading this. The doorbell rang, so he got up and left the room. I climbed through the window and crept down the hall. I stopped at the stairs where a balcony overlooked the living room. I hid in the shadows and waited. The boy walked in, followed by a girl. I'm assuming it's date night, I muttered. Thanks for coming, Jen, the boy said. No problem, Jason. I like hanging out with you, Jen said. They sat on the couch and Jason turned on a movie. I slid down the banister on the stairs and landed softly on the carpet. I'm going to go make some popcorn, Jason said, and got up. I crawled on my hands and knees to the back of the couch. I stood up and covered Jen's mouth with my hand to keep her from screaming. I cut her throat, gutted her as fast as I could, and then hid. A few minutes later, Jason came back and sat down. For a few minutes, he didn't notice Jen wasn't moving. What? What the fuck? What the fuck? So, like, how oblivious can you be? She's gutted. Maybe that means like her throat was just slit, but at the same time, you would probably notice if somebody was literally covered in their blood. Do you not like this movie? He asked. No answer. Jen? Jason asked. No answer. He turned to look at her and screamed, so he hasn't been looking at her this whole time? Oh my gosh, Jen, he yelled. He took out his phone. Hello? 911? My girlfriend is dead and I don't know who did it, Jason said. I held my knife against his neck. Tell them it's a prank and hang up, I whispered in his ear. Hello, are you still there? The lady on the other end said. Sorry, I was just joking. Won't happen again, Jason said as he hung up and put the phone down. What do you want? He asked. Nothing really. Well, I hope you enjoyed your short date, but it's time to say goodbye, I said. He barely spoke before I slit his throat. I walked out of the front door. For once, I wasn't covered in blood. First clean kill in a while. I looked around at the other houses. I heard a scream come from the house right next to the one where I was. I walked to the front of the house. The front door was wide open. I walked inside and smiled. There were bodies and blood everywhere. More screams from upstairs. Someone must have crashed a party, I said. I ascended the stairs slowly and quietly. A loud bang and a crash came from one of the rooms at the end of the hall. A young girl came running out of the room with blood dripping down her face. The girl skidded to a stop near the stairs where I was hidden in the shadows. She stepped to the stairs and I grabbed her arm just as she was about to go down. Let me go, she screamed. Oh, be quiet. Now let's see who's here, I said, walking to the room. She screamed and kicked, trying to get away from me. I opened the door and saw EJ standing in the middle of the room. Jack, what are you doing here? I asked. I was hungry, he said. May I asked, showing him the runaway girl. Go ahead. I can get her kidneys after, he said. I nodded. I pulled my knife from my pocket and gutted the squirming girl. She dropped to the floor, the blood pooling. Now you can reach the kidneys easier, I said. Okay, so when she said gutted, I'm pretty much assuming that she, like, you know, gutted. So Jason must be hella oblivious, or he must be really into the popcorn of the movie, because good lord, if I was on a date with somebody and they became gutted, you would notice something like that. Now you can reach the kidneys easier, I said. Thank you, EJ said. I nodded. I watched as EJ carefully cut out the girl's kidneys. So how are you? EJ asked. Fine, I guess. You know, it reminds me of that scene, like, in Inglourious Bastards, like, at the very end, where, like, they're just talking, and one of the guys just, like, casually just, like, cutting, like, the scalp off of a Nazi, just, like, talking. He's like, oh, yeah, totally. He's, like, cutting it off. That's what I'm thinking of. Everyone misses you back home, especially Masky, EJ said. I smiled a little. Aw. Are you guys ready for the party? I asked. Oh my god. Most of us are. I honestly don't know about it, he said. Not too big on parties, huh? I asked. No, EJ said, taking a big bite out of the kidney he was holding. I'm just imagining him just like, oh, so how about that party? And he's like, he has like a napkin like tied around his neck and he's just like holding the kidney in his hands. Like, so how about that party? How about that party? I know kidneys aren't that big, but still. Well, you have fun on your kidney spree. I'm going to head home, I said. I don't know if she meant to say kidney spree, but I kind of like kidney spree better than killing spree, just saying. So she goes home, she noticed a light is on in her room, and Masky is there. He's sitting on the bed reading a book. And she's like, what are you doing here? And he just said, I just wanted to see how you were doing. And she's like, I've only been gone for a few days. I thought she was only gone for like a day, because like Joshua comes and gets her, and then she goes and like to the park and sees that person, and then she meets up with Nerissa. I don't know. I mean, maybe it has been a few days. I don't know. The timing in this book is so fucking weird. And then she's like, how'd you get in here? I have my ways. She tells him about the van and Adrian, and then Masky's like, that's so disturbing. And then she's like, but not as disturbing as us. I looked down at the book he was holding. What's that? I inquired. Oh, it's a murder book about these two killers, Masky said. Who wrote it? A 17-year-old girl, surprisingly, Masky said. Wow, that's amazing, I said, sitting up. I grabbed the book from him and read the back. I want to read this now. I bet it's got great ways to kill people in it, I said. Masky laughed and took the book back. Yeah, it does actually. Apparently one of the killers is a baker, he said. What's that have to do with killing? I asked. He pushed his mask to the side. I'll tell you, he said. I looked at him questionably. So the killer takes a victim and tortures them mercilessly. When he is done playing, With the victim, he slowly takes out their innards and skin them, Masky said. What do they do with the innards and stuff, I asked. Well, they use them and put them in pastries and stuff, he said. I sat there for a second. That sounds like fun, I muttered. I'm not like grammatically incorrect with this. That's literally, she's like, that's all in here. I think it's weird. The people they give their food to don't know that they're involuntarily cannibals, Masky said. EJ's a cannibal, I said. True, but that's different, Masky said. Okay, change of subject. How are you and the others going to get to the party, I asked. I'm pretty sure Slender Dad has something planned. Why are you asking? Aren't you coming with us, he asked. No, I'm going with some friends. I'm meeting them at school and we're going to blah, 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 blah. We sat there for a minute. I read the book over his shoulder. This girl has a very demented mind. I would love to meet her, I said. The author, Masky asked. Yes, I said. That could be arranged. I heard she lives here in town, he said. Convenient. That's great. What else can you tell me, I asked. Not much. Only a few people know of the book. I actually took this from a house on the way here, he said. I laughed. I hope she goes to the same school as us, I said excitedly. That would be cool, Masky said. So what's this girl's name, I asked. We're about to get real meta up in here, folks. Well, her author name is N3, but her real name is Nicole, Masky said. N3, does that stand for something, I asked. Yeah, her initials are all N's. Oh my god. Because, lest we forget, the author of this lovely tome, her name is Nisha Nicole Nicholson. N3. Get it? Like I said, getting way meta up in this bitch. You seem a lot more interested in this book than I do, he said. I smiled widely. I wonder if I could become a writer like her. I wonder if she could give me some tips, I said, slightly bouncing on the bed. Masky laughed. I gasped then. What if she's a killer like us? What if she's just documenting her life and how she kills people? I cried. Whoa, calm yourself. Getting too excited about this, Masky said. Sorry, I just love a good book and murder, I said. I handed back the book. Oh, I love long walks on the beach, fried chicken, good books, and murder. Read it to me, I said sternly. What? Masky asked. Read the book to me, like a bedtime story, I said. I sat for a second thinking about the book. I know that look. What's your idea? Masky asked. I wonder how hard it would be to make someone into a cake, I said. Masky was silent for a moment, his blue eyes staring back into mine. Okay, I know sometimes you can go too far with killing, but going into a cannibalistic craze type killing doesn't seem too good, he said. Thank you, Masky, for being the voice of reason to our lovely hero, Naomi. Oh, come on, it would just be once, and if I didn't like it, I would never do it again, I said. He shook his head. You're making a big mistake, he said. I doubt it. Hey, I'll make some before the party and take them with me, I said. I should have never brought the book with me, Masky said. Now read me the book! I need new ways to kill people, I said. A small smile appeared on his face. Fine, he said. I laid back and listened. A few chapters in, I fell fast asleep, dreaming of new ways to kill. When I woke up, it was late in the afternoon. I yawned and sat up. Masky was lying next to me, his mask on the side of his face and the book on the floor. I poked his cheek. He stirred and swatted at my hand. I giggled and poked him again. He opened one eye. What? He asked. We almost slept the day away. The party is tomorrow. I need to get a victim for my cupcake, I said. He cringed when I said cupcakes. Do I really need to help with that? He asked. Yeah, I can't do it by myself. And you'll help because you love me, I said. Oh, Naomi, you're gonna do this horrible thing that you're really against because you love me, right? You'll do this because you love me, right? Ugh. Fucking insufferable. True. Well, if you're going to do this, we need to do it back at our house, he said. Why? I asked. More instruments of torture there, he said. I smiled happily. Okay, who should we get? I asked. I'll handle that. You just get the basement prepared, he said. Is this the surprise that he was talking about? Like, you know, when they first did their killing thing? Oh, I can't wait to hear what you have planned for next time we go killing. Oh, I have something planned. What is it? It's a surprise. Is this the surprise even though they literally just planned it? Who knows? Okay, so the rest of the chapter is basically this author's way of there's this creepypasta story about Pinkie Pie randomly killing ponies and turning them into cupcakes. And this upcoming bit is basically Naomi graphically torturing this girl, sort of similarly to the way that Pinkie Pie does it in her story. And like I said, I'm pretty sure like most of this book is just kind of like Nisha Nicholson being like, look how much of a creepypasta fan that I am, and look at how much of the catalog I know. Even the relatively obscure stuff like this one, because I hadn't heard about it until like a few months ago when I read this. But I'm not gonna read the torture scene because it's pretty gruesome. You know, she basically is just kind of like, oh, hey, Masky, you need to do some of this too. And then he's just like, okay, fine. And he like participates a little bit. Then Masky's like, I'm looking forward to becoming a cannibal. All right. And so she's like, I'll come over tomorrow and do a little baking. And that is the end of this chapter. And that's where I'm gonna stop. There's a lot to unpack in this. It is still pretty fillery, but like, without her demon self, she's just regular old serial killer Naomi instead of regular old, you know, dark angel serial killer Naomi. Naomi just being like super pushy with Masky. It ain't cute. It's not a good look. I am finding Naomi more and more insufferable by the minute. My lovely friend subscriber on here, Peach Tea, pointed out that this was written in the height of Nisha Nicholson's Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks phase, and that a lot of this is filler, and that not a lot of it really matters except the band battle. And I have read the rest of this book, and Peach Tea, I do agree with you. It's very true, and I feel like this could have just been like a one-shot fanfiction, maybe like 10 pages, 10, 15 pages about this girl being like, oh, I'm gonna have a band battle and do creepypasta shit. But we're gonna just stretch it out over the course of 365 fucking pages, because why not? I'm rambling. Oh my god. Again, I will say mega shout out to Peach Tea. I know I thanked you in one of my other videos, but thank you for commenting, and thank you for commenting on the cringe with me, and thank you everybody else for watching this. Please feel free to comment. Let me know what your favorite part is. Let me know who your favorite character is. Let me just talk. Also, if any of you have questions about what books are in the bookshelf, feel free to ask. This is the first time today where I've actually had a chance to like sit down and kind of do something creative. All right. I love and appreciate every single one of you who take time out of your days to watch this video or watch these videos. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope you are having a wonderful week, weekend, whatever part of the week you are watching this video at, and I will see you all in the next one. Love you. Bye.